In a world created by Mike Dell, I guess you would call it Mike Dell's World.
And good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever the case may be. This is Mike, and today is Tuesday, the 9th of November. I should know that because it's Kathy's birthday. Happy birthday, Kathy. If she ever listens to this, probably not, but anyway. So we're going to make this one about Traverse City, since we're going to do that on Tuesdays. Of course, we're participating in NAPOD POMO, National Podcast Posting Month. This is the 9th episode, or should be. Well, like I said, I took a bye on Sunday, so I did do a podcast insider, so we'll count that as good enough. So technically this is my 8th on this feed, but 9th overall for the month. All right, let's get technical. This will be kind of short, but those of you that are familiar with Traverse City, I know I got a lot of locals that listen, and I got a lot of people that don't know anything about Traverse City other than what I tell them. So this might be a little redundant for those of us that live around here, but those of you that don't know, we are at the base of East and West Grand Traverse Bay. I'm at the base to East, but the city of Traverse City's at the base of West Grand Traverse Bay and peninsula that sticks out between the two bays. It's all part of the city limits. I'm pretty close to the city limits, but I'm on the east side. But and that is relevant because I sometimes have to do business on the west side of Traverse City. And that is usually not too bad of a problem going from east to west. There's several thoroughfares. Well, not a lot. You'd think there'd be more, but really, there's Front Street and Grandview Parkway, which is kind of the same thing. They split for a little bit there, but for the most part, that's an east-west. And then there's 8th Street, which goes down on the south end or the north end of Boardman Lake. Boardman Lake kind of cuts the city in half. It's a long, skinny lake associated with the Boardman River, but this is the Boardman Lake. And then there's another one on South Airport Road on the south end of the lake. And then if you go out another mile or 2 miles or so, there's Hammond Road, east-west. And that's, those are the thoroughfares that most people use to go east and west in Traverse City. And this summer, in their infinite wisdom, as soon as Cherry Festival was over, the city of Traverse City decided that let's replace 4 bridges. I think 4. Let me think. Park Street, 8th Street, Front Street, West Front, or sort of West Front. And what was the other one? Cass Street. Cass is a north-south thoroughfare. But anyway, that made it pretty impossible to go east-west without running into a lot of detours. Especially if you wanted to stay close to the bay. If you went all the way, to Front Street, you could go around, and then you can keep going on the Parkway and avoid the Front Street Bridge. But right downtown is the Front Street Bridge. There's the 8th Street Bridge right downtown by the courthouse and all that. And that's the one that really is coming up the works. But anyway, they got Park Street done. They got Cass Street done finally. The other night I was able to drive over that for the first time, which is good. But they still have the Front Street and 8th Street bridges out. And also during the summer, they decided that they're going to put a roundabout at 4 Mile and Hammond, which is an east-west, but going further to the east from me. And that made my road really bad because nobody could go east. The road stayed open westbound, but did not stay open eastbound. So at night, everybody wanted to go home. They would go down Hammond, and then they had to turn down 3 Mile, which was my house. And then it was backed up for a mile. Traffic out front of my house for 2-3 hours in the evening with just bumper to bumper to bumper because there was just one east-west thoroughfare going along the bay. And, there's just it's crazy. Why would they do so many bridges all in the same year? It'd be nice to have them all done. That's cool. Cass Street, that's going to be really cool. They got that done, and looks like they have a nice bike trail and a pedestrian, sidewalk on it, and it's going to be a much more efficient bridge than it was. I don't know what they're doing at 8th Street, other than right now causing traffic jams. And Front Street, same thing. It's crazy, and I guess 8th Street and Front Street are going to be closed most of the winter. I think. I may be wrong on 8th, but I know Front isn't supposed to open till spring. And that's, I'm sure that puts a crimp in a lot of people's daily routines, because that's kind of the main drag through town. I don't know. Anyway, that was my rant about the bridges. Those of you that live around here, how are you coping? Oh, the other thing they did this summer was Parsons Road. So the same time that Hammond Road they were putting in the roundabout, they were putting one in at Parsons as well, which really cramped my style here. So anyway, that's the road that's right near us, and I'm on that road quite a bit. Now that the roundabout is there on Parsons, though, it is pretty handy, because I don't know how many times I would go down there and get caught at a traffic light, and I was the only one sitting there at the traffic light for however many minutes, and the traffic lights just seem to go longer than they used to. And now with the roundabout, other than, people not understanding how roundabouts work and stopping anyway, but it's usually just a momentary thing. So not a big deal. I kind of got used to roundabouts. When I was doing the courier work, I would end up in all kinds of places that had roundabouts. So I got pretty good at that, I guess. So it doesn't faze me. And it's like just about any direction I go from here now, I end up with at least one roundabout to deal with. So anyway, we'll catch you tomorrow, where I am going to talk about Hoovie's Garage, which is a YouTuber I watch. He's pretty funny.